So sorry. Oh my god, no.
Welcome to the plus size section.
Yep. Jesus Christ. Sorry.
Hayley's burping and we're sporting our dressed in la la fits. Oh, ooh, yes.
Ooh.
Credit card debt.
What is it? Shop pay. Pay in 4.
Here we go. Oh my god, that was incredible.
We're the Lala section this time.
Ooh, we're the Lala section. I noticed that you have such good faces when I'm making reels. I just want you to know my face is like this most of the time. Your face is like, oh, ooh. And I'm like, yes, this is the clickbait I want. But for me, it's like, I'm like some.
I've noticed that.
Yes, your faces are. I'll put you back to back sometimes because there's no good faces of me, but there's amazing faces of you. Like, am I
ham? When I make the ones that actually use our faces, I'll scrub through half the video. I'm like, Sam, give me something.
Something. I'm going to be very expressive this episode, everyone. Very expressive. This episode, it's all about fat.
Is it really, though?
It really is, unfortunately. That's the whole point of it.
I don't know. I feel like you're just kind of being a victim, and this is really cringe. Jokes.
My air sign energy took 30 seconds to catch on that you were joking until you said, like, is it though the second time? And I was like, oh my god, they're kidding. Thank god. Okay, glitch in the matrix.
Guess we're not ascending today, guys.
Guess we're not getting 10D today. All right. This episode, we're talking about how everything is related to our weight and our body size, even though we don't want it to be. You make it that way, you being society. So if you've ever had someone in your life that's like, weight aside, or I don't think it's about your size. Like, we're going to get into that. We're going to get into how disgusting that is. But before we do that, Hayley, what were your highs and lows of the week?
Oh man, my highs. Getting this badass cardigan in the mail, for one. Getting to film with you this week and next week. So, like, back to back. By the time this comes out, I will be 32 because my birthday is in 2 days from filming.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
And I have gifts to open.
Gifts
so
for
excited.
Me.
Yeah.
You're killing me. When you said you were going to wait till your birthday, I was like, kill me.
This is like the first year, I feel like, in a long time that I've had Jack save his gift, because I usually just want it early. So I was like, oh, I'll have two gifts to open on my birthday this year. That's exciting.
My God.
Yeah. It's the little things.
It's the little things. It's the little things. Eyelash attack. It's fine. We're going to keep it moving.
Sure it was. Sure.
I'm glitching out. Like, literally. Okay.
When we said more expressive, we didn't mean eyelash.
I know, right? I think they're barely hanging on, though, so that's okay. They're hanging on with, like,
mood
right now. They're hanging on with hope. God.
Oh, highs. I mean, life's pretty good. I feel like both of our moods are stable at the same time, which hasn't happened in a long time.
Who is she? Who are we?
I know, right?
Stable?
I've been journaling mindfully.
Flex.
And my lows. I had to pay $260 for my ADHD medication this month. But
yeah.
The real low was not being on it for 3 days. Hoo 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 boy.
I mean, yeah, but also like CVS, run them a check. Run them a freaking check, bro.
Walgreens, but same
Oh my
thing.
God. Sorry, Walgreens.
It's fine.
Ugh.
They're
both terrible. They're both terrible.
Literally every pharmacy in town was out of the generic. And my insurance was like, oh, generic came out 3 months ago. We're not going to cover brand anymore. Because fuck you, that's why. That's why it costs so much.
For real?
Uh-huh.
Well, at least you have it. I mean, I know that was... Yeah. That was a lot.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God. I was like, I feel like whenever you're like on medication, I feel like sometimes it's normal to think like, how much is this really helping me? Like, am I just better now? I'm not better. The ADHD's still there. I was off of it for 3 days and I was exhausted and crying over everything. So anxious. I didn't go to pinball because I was just too afraid of like and stressed out about being around people.
Really?
So I just sat at home. Yeah.
Oh my God, Hayley.
It was no bueno. And then I took it the next day and I was like, we're back, baby.
My God. I mean, hell yeah.
Yep, that's the power of meds, baby.
That's the power of meds, baby. It's the power of meds.
Yep. I think that pretty much wraps it up for me.
Okay. All right. Ooh, highest for me, I would say, same thing. Like, things have been going good, actually. Like, it's weird to listen back to like our old highs and lows when we were like both like going through it, you know? My God.
Yeah.
And now we're both like, we're routine girlies. We're getting fit and flirty.
Trying
to like have a routine.
Yeah. You're doing way better on the routine than I am.
I started
it's so
sooner.
hard for me.
I started sooner. That's why. I started during my silent retreat. That's the only reason why.
Maybe I'll try, instead of just going full trash gremlin when I'm off work, I'll try and get into a routine.
Yeah.
And see how that goes instead. Because normally I just get even worse.
I used to be like that until I like literally was like, I'm gonna like commit to myself, and also like therapy, you know? She's real big on pointing out when I'm being self-destructive and harming myself, and it's pretty rude of her.
Rude, but we love it.
Rude, but we love it. So she was basically like, I know that you're trying to seek comfort, but there's, you know, constructive comfort and destructive comfort. Disgusting. Okay. Disgusting. And we're talking about...
what's an example of each one?
So I, after therapy, always would get like a treat for me. Like a treat for like, because I'm a good girl, a big brave girl who went to therapy. Right. So I would get like fast food. And she was like, that's destructive comfort. So, because she's weird on labeling food. I know it's toxic, but anyways. So what I do now is I find something that is constructive that still makes me feel good, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that actually does.
Yeah. So like, and it's still food, to be honest. I'm still working on my relationship with food. So like, instead of chocolate covered pretzels, I have like gluten-free chocolate covered pretzels that don't make me sick, but still give me the yummy, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I think that I feel like there's a lot of power in trying to find ways to enjoy foods that still like align with your goals, like gluten-free or low sugar chocolate or whatever it might be. Because I don't know. I don't think that having emotions tied to your food is inherently bad, but whenever you get to the point where your appetite's like being ran by your emotions,
right,
that is a problem. So I can see why she would call out the fast food, but it is still kind of like a side-eye thing.
It's a side-eye thing. She just knows I have like PCOS, and she knows that I'm like spiking my insulin. So she's like, can we find something that's not gonna spike your insulin that is like constructive comfort, you know?
Right.
But it's also like I'm so big on like there's no bad foods, but like for my body there are destructive foods and there are like constructive foods, you know? So like I get what she was saying. She's also big. One of the low points, I will say, she was like, hey, like let's talk about your body's addiction to trauma. And I thought that was very
It's
rude of her to call out my body like that. And about like, she was talking about how like basically when you form like trauma bonds and you experience trauma, your body becomes literally addicted to it. Okay. Like chemically, like brain chemically, your brain becomes addicted. And
I
then
could see
it goes
that.
through withdrawals. It goes through withdrawals. So then you go back to the dysfunction.
I feel like that must be why, like, whenever you finally get in a healthy relationship, you just stir shit up.
Yeah,
You start the fuck shit because you're like, yeah, give me that toxicity, baby. That's
that's what
all
it
I
is.
know.
Yeah, yeah,
I didn't realize that that was like, I don't know, like inherent that
yeah,
you just got addicted to it, period. I
yeah.
guess that's weird.
Isn't that weird? So that was like a whole thing that had to like deconstruct. She did give me a break on homework, so that's a high.
She's putting you through it.
She was putting me through it. We took a break, like for like homework wise and stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
another high I would say is doing the OR photography and seeing like a real representation of how happy I am. That was incredible. I'm gonna like do an Instagram post about it, but it was really, and I went back to my old job to get it done and like everything was good. Like everyone was polite, we were nice and we kikied and I got my aura photograph taken and it was like, girl, like you are so happy. And I'm like, I am happy. Like,
It
yeah,
was the best aura photo
it was
that
really
I've
good.
seen of you.
I know,
Also,
right?
like the quality, like you were so in focus and just crisp.
Right. My
Like it was really
God.
good.
It was good. It was good. One of my friends pointed out, she messaged me. She was like, I love how like genuine your smile has gotten from like,
Mm-hmm.
because I posted the progressive. She was like, it's like, you're actually happy. And I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
dude. Like, for real though. Like, for
Yeah.
real. Like, I'm
The one
loving
that
doing
we
this
took
podcast.
together
Yeah,
was like a white people polite smile. I
it
did the same thing,
was.
I think.
Yeah. It was like,
Yeah.
my like, my old stone face. But I'm just like really happy with our podcast and I'm really happy with my job and what I've been doing and I have a routine and my marriage is great. Like I do have to have surgery in January, which is disgusting. And then the colonoscopy on the 21st, which I feel like my brain is completely blocking out. But other than that, like we're good. Everything's good.
Things have been going so positively that I forgot that you had to have both of those.
Same.
So
Same.
I feel like that's a testament to like you coping because I'm sure you're still uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that it's at least tolerable.
Yeah. I mean, I have a binder I'm supposed to wear that I don't, and I try not to like lift heavy things, even though I got in
Mm-hmm.
trouble for like carrying trash out at work. But other than that, like I'm just trying to make sure I'm not pulling it more, like making
Mm-hmm.
myself hurt more. And I do take like aspirin, but they weren't gonna give me any more medication. It was kind of like suck it up, girl.
Yeah. Well,
So
whenever you went, like I said, the pain medication, I feel like it would have just made it worse because it constipates you so bad.
yeah,
I don't think that would help at all.
no. Now I take 2 teaspoons of fiber every day. Ugh.
Oh my. I need to
Yeah.
get back on my fiber game. I've slacked a little bit.
I just put it in I like have like 10 powders I put in this thing, dude. 10
Ew.
powders in the morning and I just chug it. Chug
I,
it. And then that's it.
I don't have the facilities for that, but
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're right. You don't. Yeah.
I
Fuck.
will. And I'm like, oh God, it hurts.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, you be in pain. But yeah, I think that's just it for me, dude, honestly.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, right? Okay.
We look badass.
We look so great in our dress and law. Like, I'm sorry. Like, when I didn't realize it was a small brand. You made me so happy when you said it was like a small brand. It is, isn't it?
Think so.
I think so. Yeah. Okay. Well, we're looking cute, feeling cute. And so now we're going to talk about how we're cute, but that's not the first thing that people see.
We're cute for fat girls.
For fat girls, which is so annoying. Okay. So basically, what do we mean like when we say like it's all fat? There was this really good TikTok. I reposted and I think you saw it too, and you reposted it on the plus size
Mm-hmm.
section by Caitlin _ Elizabeth. And it was amazing because it talked about how like it like summed up everything I had been feeling like about before. We had already scheduled this episode and I'd already been talking about it. And then I saw that TikTok and I was like, this is the frustration that I feel when it comes to all this.
Mm-hmm.
Because she was basically talking about how like she doesn't get it, like fat people don't get a first impression. Like we don't get to choose to be like the funny girl or the soft girl or the emo girl or the like the non-binary like hipster. Like we don't get to
Mm-hmm.
choose that because the first thing that they see is
Yeah.
fat
I,
and funny.
yeah. I mean, I would agree with that aside. I mean, I don't know. I think in terms of fashion, I feel like they could exist at the same time. Like if you're very obviously emo, but otherwise, yeah.
Right, but you're never just like emo. Like a straight size person is emo. A fat person that's emo is fat and emo.
Guess so. I'm still stupid about this. Like I get it, but I don't know. I think how I see people is kind of clouding how I see it. Even though like whenever I was at my highest weight, I was very aware of it, like at all times, like you pointed
Right.
out. But I think to cope with it, I almost had to gaslight myself a little bit too. Like, no, I'm the only one that notices it like that. Like, you know, I'm making it
Right.
like a me issue to cope with it. Otherwise, I wouldn't want to go outside.
Right.
But it is hard, like,
Well, yeah,
to
because
cope with,
think about
period.
like how people treated you. Think about how like a big thing that I use as like a reference was like my parents. Like we talked about in earlier episodes how like we didn't realize, like especially me, I'll speak only for myself. Like I didn't realize that I was fat until I was told I was fat
Mm-hmm.
by my parents. And then it wasn't like it like completely took my identity. Basically, I was no longer like Sammy. I
Yeah.
was Sammy is overweight.
Mm-hmm.
So Sammy needs to go on Atkins. Sammy needs to eat smart ones. You know what I mean? Healthy
Yeah.
choice. Like my weight became the identity.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like because of that, I feel like other fat people haven't been able to have a real identity that centers around anything other than their weight. It's like their weight's the root of it, and then what they like is like additions. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean?
Yeah. I get what you're saying. I feel like from my experience, I've also tried to compensate for that. Like by part of it was because I was so like insecure that I overcorrected and became really loud and tried to be intimidating. But I think it was like in my brain, I was like, oh, I'm a big person. I stick out. I'm going to lean into that instead. Because if I had continued to be like, younger Hayley, I would have just stayed a wallflower and been very quiet and very shy
Mhm.
because I was so afraid of rejection. But whenever I went into college, I was like, fuck this. Like, I'm
Right.
almost 6 feet tall type shit.
Right. Did you do my rejection tarot spread? Have you been doing them? I know you haven't. Have you been doing them? Did you do it?
Asked and answered, I
Damn it. It's okay.
I need
I
to,
mean, it would
but
help, but it's okay.
it would. I feel like honestly I've gotten a lot better with that. Like just to kind of go back to what we were talking about, like the last few months, I feel like we both come into our own a lot more with that.
Yeah.
So like it's still a process, but honestly, I think going through the process that I have been trying to find jobs and stuff
Mhm.
has forced me to get real comfortable with that.
Yeah. That's literally the only way to, like, actually get through rejection is to just go through rejection therapy. Just
Yeah.
getting freaking rejected and reject until you're just like, "You know what? I don't even care." Like, I
Yeah.
actually how you feel about me doesn't impact me at all. Like, I'd prefer if you didn't tell me, to be honest, like, because it doesn't fucking matter. You're just wasting your breath. Like, it
Yeah.
doesn't impact me. And I
Yeah.
think, like, being big for I feel like 30 years, I mean, not 30 years, but like, majority of my life has now as I'm in my 30s, I am kind of like I'm big, but there's so much more than that.
Hmm.
And I think that's why I am like so passionate about this episode because it's like it really grinds my gears that like straight size individuals get to have conversations with big size people and be like, well, like, I don't think it's about your weight. Like, let's put weight
Hmm.
aside. And it's like, I can't do that. I don't have the luxury of doing that
Yeah.
because I've never been able to experience what that's like.
Yeah. I feel like it's honestly kind of similar to whenever you talk to like Black people or people of color or, queer people, and they're discussing something where their sexuality or their race is relevant. And you're like, well, you're the one making it a race issue or a gay
Yes.
issue. I think I'm starting to understand now, but it's
This
like,
is exactly what I'm talking
yeah.
about. I was about to say it's like talking to a person like a minority and
Hmm.
or a disabled person. You can't
Yeah.
just be like well, if someone say that someone has to use a wheelchair, you can't just be like, well, like it's not about your wheelchair. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
it really kind of is about the wheelchair. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like it's like yes, like I would love to have a conversation about social anxiety, but it's so because we have the experiences that we're exposed to and we are bigger people, like that's going to be the backbone and a lot of the root of my anxiety is being the biggest person in the room. So when you're
Hmm.
talking to a group of people and they're like, "Oh yeah, I have anxiety," and you share, and this is mainly when you go to share, like, because like I'll go to share, like, "Oh yeah, I have social anxiety, but it is rooted that because I am larger," and like
Hmm.
a straight size person is like, "Well, I think a lot of people have social anxiety, and it's like, I'm not saying
You,
they don't.
yeah.
I'm like,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like, what? I'm saying that like mine is rooted in my weight because of how I've been treated because of my weight. Like, what do
Yeah.
you know what I
People
mean?
people love to like center themselves in your shit. Like whenever you're talking about your own experiences and they're like, I don't think it was actually that. Like speaking for my social anxiety, and it's
R-
like, we were talking about mine, but okay.
Right. And then when you do bring up that it's a weight thing, and I think it's just like, I don't know if it's because we live in the South and it's like a Southern comfort thing to be like, oh, well, like, I don't think it's about that, and it's like,
Mhm.
no, like it is about that. And it's fine that it's about that. It's like when you bring in weight as the
Yeah.
center of like our experience, it becomes like well, no, like your weight's not a bad thing. And I'm like, I'm not trying to make it a bad thing, but
Yeah. You don't
my
think it's a bad thing.
I don't think it's
Other
a
people
bad
do.
thing. Right. I've been told it's a bad thing. I don't think it's a
Yeah.
bad thing, but like so it's like when people are like, "Why are you, why does it have to be about your weight or why does it have to be about your size?" It's like because everything in my life is about that whether I want it to be or not.
Do you still counter in that and encounter that on a regular basis? People that
I
respond to you like that?
I do. I think it's more of like a passive aggressive thing.
Hmm.
Like I know that with like because I am like a Reiki healer, when I was like taking class and like practicing and getting my certifications and attunements and stuff, I had to get a chair because my back injury when I fell
Hmm.
and my weight impacts my injury. So like a lot of
Yeah.
Reiki teachers they can stand there over the person for a really long time for like an hour and they can just bend their back. Okay.
Yeah.
One, I'm 5'2", dude. Like
Yeah.
if the table's not at the right freaking height, like I'm dying, dude. I'm dying. So I had to get a chair and I was like, "Hey, is it okay if I get a chair?" And like the person instructing me was like, "Well, I mean, yeah, but you're not always going to be able to get a chair." And I was like, "Well, I need a chair because of my back injury. Like I'm larger and there's just a lot of weight on it and it hurts my lower back." And she was like, "Well, I don't know if this is a weight thing." And I'm like, "Girl, I'm the largest one in this freaking class and I'm the only
Yeah.
one that needs a chair. Like it's a weight thing and it's fine. Why are you making it weird that I need an accessibility
Yeah.
adjustment?"
It's
You know?
like She honestly made it weirder because, yeah, being larger can put more pressure on your back, obviously. But at the end of the day, you have a bad back. You have an injury. You should be able to get like the accommodations or the accessibility tools that you need to do your job. Like it's
Yeah.
a chair.
Right.
No matter how much you weigh, you should
Right.
get the chair.
Right. And it was weird, like, I was getting, like, and another example was, like, I went to get my hair done, and, like, it was at my old hairdresser. My new hairdresser is amazing. I love her. But by,
Mhm.
like, my old one, I was like, "Hey, like, I want a certain cut because of my double chin." And I said it just like that, and I thought it was fine. And she
Mhm.
was like, "I don't think that's a thing, like, face shapes and sizes." And I'm like,
There we go. That's a reactive face.
"Yeah, like, what do you mean? What do you mean you don't think, like,
When I
girl?"
hear stuff like that, like I don't know. I feel like doing things for face shapes and body types, it's definitely like I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how to like organize my thoughts because only dressing certain ways or like doing certain things because of your face shape or your body type because it's what's flattering. I don't necessarily vibe with that because it's like you should just wear what you like.
Right.
But I feel like she responded like that the same way that people get uncomfortable when you say the word fat to them if they're not in
Yes.
the same vein. Like they are really uncomfortable with it. So they're like kind of putting their discomfort on you for
Right.
just saying it like it is. Like my old therapist did that too. And in session when I would say fat and we had to have like a discussion about that. And it wasn't like she was tone policing me or anything, but she thought that I was doing it in a self-deprecating way.
Right.
And I had to be like, no, like I'm literally it's just a descriptor for me. I've
Right.
gotten to the point that it's a descriptor, but it was still like a thing.
Right. It was just like, I'm like, I have a round face. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And there are certain, like, this is like, to me, it's like a math thing. I don't know why I view it that way of like certain angles look better on certain
Yeah.
shapes. Like, that's just the way
That's
they
fair.
do. It's not like a good or a bad thing. It's just like it
Mhm.
flatters or doesn't. It doesn't matter. But like, that's one thing I love about Taylor. She's so good about like doing tattoos based on your body shape. Like,
Mhm.
she did my neck a certain way to make sure that it like made it look like this beautiful cascading thing and didn't
Mhm.
like create this like huge like square because I'm like a triangle. Like you can literally see the triangle right now. Like I don't have awesome square freaking shoulders like I wish I had. Like you know how people have like really good square shoulders? I go down. Like I'm a literal freaking triangle, dude. And
I think
so
I do too. I think I go
yeah,
down.
you're very triangular too.
Mhm.
Triangular? Triangular? Yeah, that's the freaking
Yeah.
word, Samantha. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. Cut. Like I'm a triangle. And so she does your tattoos like the way your body naturally is flowing, like the shape
Mhm.
of it.
Christ almighty, Milo.
Hi
What are you doing?
Milo. Hi Milo. My goodness.
Where you can't go on the desk. Oh my god,
Right.
how am I gonna go back there? Go back there.
He's gotten so big.
He's so big. He's like
He's so big.
15 pounds.
Oh my god.
Mhm.
Anyways, so and that's why like it's never like a bad thing when I talk to Taylor about weight or size. Is she
Mhm.
makes it as a descriptor and that's what I like. Like I can
Yeah.
be like, "Hey, when cuz we're doing the rest of my chest and my neck in January." So like I know. It was very much like I was like, "Hey, like I want something here, but I don't want something on my like my double chin." You know,
Yeah.
and she wasn't like, "Oh,
It's not a double chin.
I like your double chin. It's so cute." Like she just kept it moving, dude. And it's like
Yeah.
she's one of the only people that I've ever met in my life that it's not about. Like she literally doesn't try to correct me when I say something about my weight or be like, "Oh, like I don't think it's about your size." You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the only person where growing up it's always been like, I think you're kind of centering your weight or you're the one like I literally had someone when I went somewhere be like, "I think you're the one making it about your weight."
Yeah. I've definitely heard that before too. Or making it about gender, that type of
Y
thing.
yeah, that's how it sounds.
It's like anytime what people like how people are indoctrinated to believe, like anytime that's challenged, that it's like the gut reaction is to be like, well, I think actually you're wrong.
Right.
It's really frustrating because some people
Right.
are just genuinely not open to new information.
That's oh my god,
I
that's
don't
so
understand
true.
that.
Oh, I don't either. As we both look at each other like,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah, because it's like a thing, like, just because I was saying, like, it's all fat, it's all about size, it's all about weight, like, I'm not saying that's a bad thing, I'm not saying it's a good thing, I'm saying, like, to me, it's literally a fact in my life, like, it's a fact, like, no matter what I'm doing or where I'm at, like, weight is a factor for me, size is a
Mhm.
factor, and either I've been conditioned to make it that way, or other people are actively making it that way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Y
especially in that TikTok, like, I really liked that, she was talking about how, like and I already said it, but, like, people get to meet people and be like, "Wow, like, this person's like this, and that's so amazing." But, like, the first thing someone sees when they meet us not I don't I'm gonna use me as an example. You're tall, so you can say whatever you want, whatever however you wanna describe yourself. But when they meet me, it's like fat. Like
Mhm.
fat and funny, or pretty for a big girl, but, like,
Mhm.
that is right in the freaking front and center, you know?
Yeah. No, I
Yeah.
definitely get what you mean. I truthfully, I don't know how people perceive me. I'm assuming that it is big, just big period, because I'm big and tall. But I think it's also something that I try not to think about for my own anxiety purposes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But it doesn't mean that it's not there.
Right.
I think that I feel like height can help because I'm a big person, but I'm stretched out, you know?
Right.
But I don't know. It's tough. Like I just feel like there's so much put on us to make other people feel comfortable with our size.
Yeah.
And it's exhausting.
Yes.
It's part of like honestly why I think I don't like to frame it like this in my head because it's like, God, like another thing that my weight
Yeah.
is like connected to.
Right. Yeah, because mine is connected to I mean, in my life and my experiences, everything. Like, even meeting Brian, like, he likes my size. So, of course, like, it's a positive, but it still is about my size. Like, if I gain weight or if I lose weight, that's always a topic of conversation, or it was until I set a boundary,
Mhm.
Like, especially when I lost weight, it was very much a big thing of like, wow, like, you're getting small. And like, they don't understand in that conversation how triggering that is because I do have trauma around being small. Like, I use fun fact, if everybody didn't know, apparently I use weight to get people to reject me right off the bat so they don't hurt me later down the road. It's really
Man,
great. Yeah.
therapist just stays on your neck basically.
Stays on my neck, bro. Stays on it. Yeah. So it's always a topic of conversation, like my size, whether it's going down or going up or how I look.
Yeah.
So
I'd say in relationships, honestly, I've had experience with both. Like, it was more common for me with like casual flings or like hookups or something that they would talk about my size, like in a positive way, because they were like, "Oh yeah, I'm into big girls," like blah blah blah.
yeah.
But every person that I've been with in like a serious relationship, it's been acknowledged, but it's not like a thing, like with a
Right.
capital T. Like most of the time, it was acknowledged because I would mention it and because I was insecure and would keep bringing it up. But thankfully, like my husband, he really like he obviously said he was into bigger girls like when we started dating because I mean, whenever you show up on a date with someone that you haven't met in person before as a big person, you're like, "Uh-oh," they might
Yeah.
reject me. But it was
Right.
like very clear very quickly that he was into that and it wasn't an issue, but like he is just more, he's complimented my body at all sizes, but it's never been like, thankfully, there's never been like a, hey, like, are you okay? You're getting small or you're gaining a lot of weight. I personally could not handle being examined like that
Yeah.
in a relationship. So I'm glad he doesn't do that.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't be able to either.
No.
Not that.
No.
I get jokes though. Like I get if we like I have these things of guacamole. It's called like mini chunky or something. And I get little I like my guacamole like I like my women.
I mean, he's just the king of comedy though.
He just is the king of comedy in this house. The king of comedy. My God. But yeah, I'm trying to think. I'm like anything. Anytime there's something that says thick on it, he's like,
yeah.
Like, and it's the same face. Like, I'm like, it's like, you know, those TikToks of like the husbands and the jokes, like that is Brian. Like he has husband humor. If there can be a penis joke, there is going to be a penis joke. It's just my life. It is what it is. I've accepted it. It's fine. But I can literally be like, God, I have a headache. And he's like, you know what you need? Damn it.
Oh my God.
What was the joke? It was something good. It was good.
I am the husband.
You're the husband?
Yeah. I do that shit. Oh my God. There's been a couple times recently where I've made like fucking filthy jokes and my husband and Jax has been like, okay, let's
oh my God,
chill a little bit. And I'm like, what?
My God.
I love it.
Yeah, that's my life. They're so frequent now. Like I can't even remember. And I know I've heard 3 today. Like, because I had this like mini like chocolate pie. It's like the little mini ones. And I did like a scoop of ice cream or something. And like, I swear to God, he walked by and he was like, I'll give you something white and creamy. And like my brain,
oh God.
my brain's just like normal conversation. Like it just is so much. It's constant. All the time.
No wonder we got along so well.
That's why
I'm just one of the dogs, dude.
You're one of the dogs, dude. Like, well, he's a Sagittarius rising and you're a Sagittarius sun. And so I've never met 2 Sagittariuses that like couldn't at least fuck with each other for like a couple minutes. Like, you know, I feel like it depends on the risings, but yeah. I feel like all Sagittariuses are bros. Like, I swear to God, like they're all bros. Like, just a bunch of fucking bros. Yeah. So I think another thing I do want to talk about is missing out on opportunities because of weight and telling friends that you couldn't do it because of your weight. And then basically being like, no, you can still do it. Like, there are some things that fat-bodied people cannot do. And it is related to the body size, and that's fine. But it's like a straight size person being like, no, Sam, you can go jump out of an airplane. It's not about your size. Like, do you want me to die? It is about size. It's about size in that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you froze for a second or what, but it seemed like you were like for like a little bit too long for a second. But no,
sorry.
No, it's fine. I agree with that. Like even just that example, like what do you mean? There's weight requirements for fucking everything, but especially if you're falling out of a plane strapped to someone.
Thank you. And it's fine to talk about it. Like,
yeah,
it's related and it's fine. But there's like a difference. Like, I think it's a difference when you find a group of friends. And I think that's why I am so happy now at like the shop and where I'm at, because like they genuinely don't give a shit about a lot of like anything. So like for me to be like, yeah, I can't go, jump out of an airplane with you guys because I'm fat. They'll be like, all right, suck a C at the bottom. Like they'd be like, all right, bye. You know what I mean? Like they just don't fucking care. Like they care about me and like in a way of like, I'm their friend, but they're not going to be like, oh, Sam.
See,
sure?
I feel like that's a sign of respect, honestly, that they're taking what you say at face value and they're like, okay, like,
Yeah.
you're over 30 years old. You can decide if you can or cannot jump out of a plane.
Yeah.
Rather than it being like oh no, like, it's not about weight. Come with us. Like, no.
Yes.
I'll see you later.
Yeah. I love that you said that because that is how it is there. And it's so mind fucking, Hayley, because they'll be like, Taylor will be like, hey, like, what are your ideas on this? And I'll tell her my ideas. And she's like, all right, cool, let's do that. And I'm like,
yeah.
What do you mean? And she's like, well, you're the expert in this, so I'm trusting you. And I'm like, what do you mean? Whoa. You don't want to fix it, correct it, add your ideas to it? And she's like, no, I really don't. You got it. Like, I'm like, okay.
Like, why are we still talking about this?
Literally. She will tell me like, hey, like, I'll go to explain something. And she's like, I don't need you to explain it to me. Yes.
Oh my God, if someone said that to me, they'll be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, I cannot believe I just explained that. I'll just see myself out.
Oh my God, I got in trouble for taking out the trash. Like, she genuinely like made me cry and didn't mean to make me cry. But she was like, Sam, this job is not worth hurting you. You do all the other parts of this job. If you can't do this one part, that's fine. It's not worth your health. And I was like, I just started crying like a child. I was like, what do you mean I'm still, she was like a valid team member, even though I can't do this one thing for you. Like,
yeah.
Crazy.
There's so much shit that's tied up in, especially as women, but I feel like, or people who were born female, femmes, I feel like there's so much that is tied up in our productivity and our ability to give. And I feel like when you add weight on top of that, it's like we are compensating for it.
1,000%.
Because we're seen as stupid or lazy or just incompetent. We're like, no, I can actually do it all. Like, don't worry, I'll do 3 jobs for 1 salary because I'm the trusty fat girl. And it's like, dude, like, stop.
Yeah. Fun fact, that's also a codependency issue, just so we all know.
Oh, I'm sure it is. That is like,
disgusting, according to my therapist. Anyways,
she hasn't been wrong yet this episode.
This episode, she's been slaying the game. Okay. But yeah, that's right. Because like I am the biggest person at the shop. And so that again, like I feel like my brain is like, it's all related to your weight, it's like, but that is on me at that point because I am the one that's like, oh, like this person's not as like friendly with you. It's because you're fat. And it's like, no, Sam, it's because like this person has been working with all these other people for literally like 7 to 10 years. You just got here. Like they don't know you yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
rejection, and I think, like if you have ADHD, like rejection sensitivity dysphoria, that's what that is. That I feel like that all the time. It's like someone could just blink weird and I'm like, they hate me. You will send me just the plainest text and I'm like, are you mad at me? And you're like, no. Yeah, I believe you, but I'm just like, damn. Got myself again.
Damn. That's why we have to do the Hayley check-ins. That's why if we go like 3 days without snapping, I'm like, I have got to snap them or you snap me. Because like if not, I'm mad at you. Something's wrong. Like it's like nothing's wrong. I'm just busy. And you're like, do you still love me? Do you still love me?
You would think that I'd be used to like the avoidant coping style at this point because you're not the only person or friend in my life that is like this. But it's like if you retreat for a day or two too long, I'm like, oh shit. Yeah. Did I do something?
Right. Like when you were talking about my hernia and you were just spitting straight facts and you're like, I'm sorry. You took on all this responsibility for like how I was feeling when all you did was like give me information that the internet would have given me like it wasn't your, I didn't hold you accountable for my feelings. Like,
Okay. I mean, you're right. But I also was like, shit, I info dumped all of this shit. It was like, you need to go to the doctor before you die. And then the next day you said you had a panic attack. What was I supposed to do with that? Because I panicked.
Yeah, I just, though it was a lot going on, but no, I'm really trying hard to like, one, not let other people's information impact my feelings, and also not let other people's feelings impact my feelings. Because again, that's like a codependent issue. It's about control, and I'm really trying to like, I love that theory of let them. Like, I'm so, have you seen that on TikTok yet?
I don't think so, but
it's good. It's good. It's about like release. Just throw your hands up and like let the people around you do what they're gonna do. Like, your husband's mad, let him be mad. Don't try to fix it. Your kids are crying because they're overstimulated, let them cry. It'll be okay.
Cry with them.
You know, cry with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
no,
you know, people.
That's great advice.
I love it. Like, people have a bad opinion about you. Let them. You know, I'm just like, let them. Let them.
I do that, and then I'm like, inside.
Yeah.
Though I am letting them, because I think I'm a little concerned my mom's mad at me because her messages have been short lately. And I'm just like, I'm letting them. She's a Libra. She'll talk to me on my birthday, and if she brings it up then, it'll be fine. But if not, she'll bring it up in 2 weeks and be like, so I was mad at you about something.
Yeah. Let them.
Libertangs. Let them.
Libertangs. Let them. Let them. Speaking of, let them follow us. Where can they find us at, Hayley?
No. So you can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Threads at Plus Size Section, on TikTok at the Plus Size Section. I see that you have removed the bit about emails and rates and reviews, but
second page, baby. Second page.
Oh, okay. I take the South back. So if you want to send us emails about how I can't read or see page breaks, you can do that at the plus size section at gmail.com. If you want to comment on how Sam's eyelashes have a life of their own, please leave us a rating and review. And also share this podcast with your friends, because we're pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay, bye.
Bye, y'all.